Hi, I'm Emma Van Dyke, and I'm very honored to be here to share my story and to support CNIB Lake Joe. My connection with CNIB started in 2008 at 6 years old when I was diagnosed with Kear's optic neuropathy. My parents thought I had sight loss way before this age, however, because my mom would say, "Emma, look at the plane in the sky." I would say, "Where, Mom?" while frantically looking around. This eye condition progressively deteriorates the fibers on my optic nerve, which is the nerve connecting my eye to my brain. Currently, there's no cure, there's no treatment. I do wear glasses, however, I'm still considered legally blind. Legally blind is a word no one would have ever heard me say a couple years ago. When I was younger, I didn't know anyone with sight loss. It seemed like every appointment at the IVI clinic in London was for Senior Cataract Day. I genuinely thought I was the only kid with sight loss. And even though I had my parents' and my sister's support, I still felt isolated and different. And I felt embarrassed that I wasn't like everybody else. I remember sitting in elementary class staring at a blurry whiteboard because I didn't want anybody to know I couldn't see. I remember crying because I couldn't find which school bus was mine. They all looked the same. And even when I did ask for help or spoke up, sometimes I was met with hurtful comments or not the right kind of help I needed. And so it's really hard to accept who you are when not everybody else follows the same philosophy. But this all changed when I went to Lake Joe for the first time at 12 years old for Family Week. My family and we were given a tour by someone with sight loss. Then later, when we passed the deck, we saw someone completely blind with her guide dog beside her teaching yoga. And we just could not believe that this magical place existed. Later that night at Carnival, we saw someone rolling this big dice who had to hold it less than an inch from his face to try to read it, something I do as well. And so I could relate to everyone who was here. I had thought, I have found my people. I told my mom, I have finally found my people. And I don't mean people who are just blind or partially sighted. I mean people who are confident, supportive, inclusive, independent, and successful. And this camp fosters an if they can do it, so can I attitude. And you'll see that as people do fully accessible activities such as archery, arts and crafts, canoeing, and all the activities they have. Since my first time attending Lake Joe, I now know I can do anything. I gained so much confidence surrounding my sight loss that I want to inspire youth and adults in the same way I was. So I'm proud to say after attending CNIB Lake Joe as a guest for 3 years with my family, I'm now currently working my 3rd year as well. I'm privileged that I can give back this magical and fun experience to guests. For my first year, I was a program facilitator where I got the chance to allow campers to try new activities they might have been told or didn't have the chance to do anywhere else. This includes rock climbing, sailing, and even soccer and beach baseball. For my 2nd and 3rd years working at camp, I've been the wellness assistant. Ever since I was young, I've loved cleaning up my sister's scrapes and cuts and applying the bandages, or cutting open a stuffed animal and performing a life-saving operation. It didn't really save any lives, but I knew I wanted to help others. But I didn't think this was an option for me. I didn't know any blind nurses or any healthcare workers. But Lake Joe introduced me to blind kids who can skateboard and blind adults who are chefs. So I knew that there was a place for me. So along with Lake Joe and my family's support, I applied to the nursing program at Western University in London, and I started my Bachelor of Science in Nursing in September 2020. Of course, with some modifications, I always have a magnifier in my scrub pocket, and I do stand really close to the monitors, but I make it work. Becoming a low vision nurse has allowed me to change the perception of what it means to be blind and break down barriers. My career choice has allowed me to continue contributing to Lake Joe by inspiring guests that people with disabilities are powerful, capable, and independent. I want to show other low vision children that they can chase their career passions even if they didn't think it's possible. I am able to show guests that just because you can't see the stars doesn't mean you can't reach for them, and that is exactly what you'll find at Lake Joe. I want to thank our neighbors and friends for being here and letting me share my story.